Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to find the XPath of the element based on the index value, and also we'll be using AND between two attribute value pairs. Now let's first understand that why do we need to use the index value to find the XPath of the element. Let's suppose we have to find all the elements which are using checkbox, right? So let's go back over here. Let's see which all elements are using checkbox. So I'm gonna go to control, or I'm just gonna open the inspect over here, developer tools. I'm gonna do control F, input, and then @type equal to checkbox, right? So how many elements we got? 3 elements, right? Now let's suppose there are like probably 50 elements or more than that elements, like probably 100 elements, but we know that what is the index of the element we want to find out. Let's suppose we don't have the name or the value attribute, but somehow we have to select the 25th element or the 97th element. So in that case we can provide the index value which starts from 1. So let's suppose we have to find BMW element over here. So I'm going to enter 1 over here, and you can see it find 1 out of 1 element now. So here this is an example where we use the index to find the XPath of the element. Now let's use this XPath. I'm going to copy this XPath and go to my test case over here, and we're going to work on the same BMW element only. So I'm just going to paste it over here, paste. So here now we are clicking on the element. It should click on the first element, right? And then I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna run this test case. So it's gonna open the browser and it's gonna select BMW element and it's gonna sleep, and then the test case is completed. Now if you go back to my browser, we can find the second element also. So here it's finding the second element, which is Mercedes. Now here, see, now we didn't have to give the name as well as the value. We just provided the type. It should be a checkbox, and select the second element, which is a checkbox. So I can go back here, and if I change this to second, it should select the second one. So it selected Mercedes and it's slept for 4 seconds, and it's going to close the browser. And here our test case has successfully passed. So we can look at the log of this test case. I can go and select where it says that clicking element with this XPath. So it identified the XPath successfully, and since it was unique, it clicked on the element. Now I'm gonna go back to my XPath sheet. Now let's suppose we don't want to use the index number, we want to use the value, but also we want to see that it should be of type checkbox. Let's suppose there are a few elements which have a value BMW, but they are not of the checkbox. In that case, we can provide an AND in between, and we can use two attribute value pairs. So this is attribute and a value, attribute and a value. So I'm going to go back over here. So over here I have my checkbox, right? I'm going to do AND at value is equal to BMW. So here now, based on the checkbox and the value, we identified the XPath uniquely for this element because it says 1 out of 1. Why do we do it this way? Because as I just told you, there can be elements which cannot be of type checkbox. The type might be other, but they have the same value. So in this case, if you want to combine these properties, we can use AND. We can also use starts with over here. We can also use contains over here. So you can combine two XPath properties or two keywords which we just talked about in the previous videos and use it using the AND in between. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to over my write editor, and I'm just going to paste it over here. And then let's run the test case. So it's going to select BMW and it's going to sleep for 4 seconds and close the browser. So as we can see over here, our test case have successfully passed. It has identified this element based on XPath this and the other XPath, and we have used the AND in between to combine two properties of the key value pairs. So this was all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and practice as much as possible. I'm gonna keep updating the sheet of the XPath as we move along. Also, if you have any questions, please free to post it. You can use the Engine Digital practice page. There are a lot of different elements on the on that page. Also, you can use any other website. We have seen some examples using the Expedia website. You can go over there. You can play around with the checkboxes and try to create your own XPath. And if you have any issues, post the question and I'm going to help you to create the XPath. Thank you.